Ah, the iceberg image. If you've been on the internet in the past year, you've probably seen some variation of it. Super Mario 64, Minecraft, Pokemon, Five Nights at Freddy's, etc. As for My Little Pony, there's actually a few out there. They aren't all that great though. Most of them are either complete jokes or in a different language that I'm too lazy to translate. So, since I wouldn't find any good MLP Iceberg videos to watch, I decided to make my own.
With blackjack and hookers and
Ta-da! Here it is, my definitive MLP Iceberg. Before we start, I just want to go over how these types of videos work in case anyone's confused. At the top is information that everybody knows, but as we move down the iceberg, the information gets more dark or obscure. Now that that's out of the way, let's take a deep dive into the waters of Equestria. This is the My Little Pony Iceberg. MLP FIM. First airing in 2010, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic follows Twilight Sparkle as she and her friends go on adventures and solve problems in their everyday lives. Bronies. Brony is a term coined by 4chan for male fans of Friendship is Magic. Butt of many jokes in other internet circles, bronies were and still sometimes are used as an example of bizarre internet subcultures by the mainstream media. The Brony fandom was big in the early 2010s at the peak of the show's popularity, but hasn't really seen a resurgence since. Fans of the show still exist, but the label has fallen out of fashion for most of them, this being either out of shame, or because of other things we'll be seeing later. FIM Seasons 1 through 4. The first 4 seasons of Friendship is Magic are considered the golden age by many fans, seasons 1 and 2 especially due to the involvement of the creator Lord Faust. Before creating Friendship is Magic, Faust was previously known for working on shows like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and the Powerpuff Girls, both created by her husband Craig the Kraken. Equestria Girls. Equestria Girls is a spin-off franchise from the Friendship is Magic toy line and cartoon. The series follows human versions of the main 6 as they attend Canterlot High and deal with otherworldly threats. The first movie in the series was released in 2013 after season 3 and had a limited run in theaters. MLP The Movie 2017. My Little Pony The Movie is a 2D animated theatrical film based on Friendship is Magic that was released in 2017. The movie is known for its distinct art style compared to the show, and its introduction of many new characters who would either appear or be referenced as the series continued into Season 8. G1 and G3. While Generation 1 is what many think of when they hear about My Little Pony, earlier versions of MLP, particularly Generation 3, were hated by bronies who had gotten into the franchise when G4 was coming out. This is mostly because of how earlier My Little Pony series were written with only little girls in mind as opposed to G4, which was intended for all ages. Discord. Discord is a song by Eurobeat Brony based on the character of the same name. It's commonly associated with early 2010s fandom culture, particularly Homestuck edits. The song is nostalgic for many people who remember it from back in the day, and is probably the most well-known MLP fan song. Ponytown. Ponytown is an online MMO where players are able to create their own pony and interact with other players. Besides members of the MLP fandom, people in other fandoms such as Homestuck and Danganronpa will commonly use the site to show off their custom ponies. The Rainbow Dash Jar. The Rainbow Dash Jar is an infamous 4chan post about a brony who stuck a Rainbow Dash figure in a jar and began to fill it up with Elmer's glue. It's revealed that the jar was placed on top of a radiator, and that, quote,
Rainbow Dash figure has been boiled.
The reason this is so high up on the iceberg is because since then the incident has gained mainstream meme status and is the #1 example people will use to highlight the sheer degeneracy of the brony fandom. There's an old saying that goes, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, when bronies are brought up and the Rainbow Dash Jar isn't mentioned, did that discussion ever really happen? The Hub Network. The Hub Network was a block on the Discovery Kids channel that featured shows based on Hasbro properties, like Transformers, Pound Puppies, Littlest Pet Shop, and yes, My Little Pony. In 2014, the block was cancelled and replaced with Discovery Family. FIM Seasons 5 through 9. Season 5 was the point in which many fans stopped watching the show. Nevertheless, Friendship is Magic continued for 5 more seasons after the Season 4 finale. During this time, the formula of the show was changed several times with the Cutie Map and the School of Friendship. New characters like Starlight Glimmer were also introduced as an integral part of the cast. MLP The Movie, 1986. My Little Pony The Movie was released in 1986, obviously. Out of all the G1 material, the movie along with its antagonist, the Smooths, seems to be remembered the most by fans. MLP. MLP is 4chan's dedicated My Little Pony board, which was created after pony posting became popular on the Co and B boards. MLP is the only board where pony posting is allowed, and doing so in any other board will result in your post being taken down by the mods. 20% cooler. Line in the episode Suited for Success, where Rainbow Dash says,
20% cooler.
became a popular inside joke among bronies and was even the inspiration for a song by artist Ken Ashcore. Bronycon. Throughout the 2010s, the rise in pop culture conventions and spread of the brony fandom led to dozens of My Little Pony conventions being held around the United States and other territories. Most well-known being Bronycon. The convention would be held every year from 2011 to 2019 on the east coast of the United States, and would feature panels with show staff and brony fan creators, as well as an enormous vendors hall. Cosplayers and other eccentric people of all types could be found roaming the halls, and overall it seemed like a great time. At this point, I should probably mention Jenny Nicholson and her brony fandom analysis video. Some of the topics I mentioned from here on out, including this one, are things that she mentions in her video, and I should give credit where credit is due. Background 6. Bronies have a habit of getting attached to background characters from MLP, the biggest example being the Background 6. Derpy Hooves is obviously the most well-known, her entire character being based on an animation error from the pilot. Fans of Doctor Who projected their love of the show onto a background pony with an hourglass for a cutie mark, calling him Dr. Hooves. Lyra Heartstrings and Bonbon are two background ponies who are often shipped together. Bonbon isn't that notable, but for some reason Lyra was given the personality of wanting to be a human by bronies. Octavia Melody and Vinyl Scratch, later named DJ Pone3 by Hasbro, are two incidental ponies who got shipped together. Guess bronies love the opposites attract trope. Fallout Equestria. Fallout Equestria is a fan fiction written by the anonymous K-Cat. The series is a crossover between Friendship is Magic and the Fallout video game series by Bethesda. As of 2013, the entire thing is 0.6 million words, and is one of the longest self-published pieces of derivative fiction in history. Mordecai. This ship between Twilight Sparkle and Mordecai from regular show spawned a lot of weird fan art when it was popular, including this iconic image. Friendship is Witchcraft. Any anime fan can tell you what an abridged series is. MLP fans are no strangers to it too. Friendship is Witchcraft was a series of Friendship is Magic episodes, which replaced the episode plots and song numbers with new ones, but kept the original footage. This was created by the group Sherclop Pones and is responsible for many unforgettable concepts and moments. These include Sweetie Bot, Pinkie's Brew, Pinkie's Bard, and Twilight's It'll Be Okay song.
Stallion. I watched him sleep in bed at night. It's not creepy.
Smile HD. Made by animator Mr. Davey, Smile HD is an infamous animation which depicts Pinkie Pie brutally demonetizing the rest of the main six, set to a remix of the Smile song from Friendship is Magic. Cupcakes and Rainbow Factory. Cupcakes and Rainbow Factory are two fanfictions that depict ponies being unalived by Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash respectively. I chose to put these two separate from Smile HD because of how often the two are lumped in together. Cupcakes received an animated adaptation by our old friend Mr. Davey, set to the song Ready to Die by Andrew WK. Yes, the Destroyed Build Destroy guy. Rainbow Factory was the basis for a song by the artist Wooden Toaster, which later got an animated music video made for it by the animator Brony Dance Party. Banned from Equestria Daily. Banned from Equestria Daily is an 18-plus point-and-click dating sim that allows you to interact with various ponies from the show. The game was developed by PokeHidden, and believe it or not, was banned from Equestria Daily. What's Equestria Daily, you might ask? Let's travel further down the iceberg and find out. Equestria Daily. Equestria Daily is a fan site that was started by Sean Scatellero in 2011, which focused on news and discussion for Friendship is Magic. The site is still up today and regularly hosts fan art and the occasional piece of news relating to the franchise. Lauren Faust's inspiration. Creator Lauren Faust originally based Friendship is Magic off the stories she made up when she would play with her My Little Pony toys as a kid. As a result, the main six all have G1 counterparts. Twilight and Applejack share their names with their G1 incarnations. Fluttershy is based on Posy, Pinkie Pie on Surprise, Rarity on Sparkler, and Rainbow Dash is based on Firefly. My Little Pony Tales. Often mistaken for Generation 2, My Little Pony Tales came at the end of Generation 1, in the early 90s. The show is different from its predecessor, My Little Pony and Friends, in that it takes place in a ponified version of our modern world, and is more character-based. G3.5. Generation 3.5, or G3.5 for short, was a short-lived era of MLP with more exaggerated chibi-esque character designs. Only one straight-to-video movie and a handful of shorts were produced, before G3 came to a proper close and Friendship is Magic premiered. Pony Life. Pony Life is the most recent TV series based on the MLP toy line. The series follows the main six from FIM, but with a different tone from the original. Reactions to Pony Life have been mixed to good, and personally, I don't really mind it. The vibe of the show feels like it's just something to hold fans over between G4 and G5, and will probably be forgotten in a year or two. IDW Comics. IDW currently owns the rights to publish comics for MLP and has been doing so since 2012. The most recent publication continues the story of FIM, beyond the Season 9 finale. MLP Mobile. The MLP FIM game by GameLoft is a standard city building game for iOS, Android, and Windows platforms. The game has you building your own Ponyville and collecting ponies from the show as you go along. It also features story quests and various minigames. FIM Pop Culture References. FIM, like any other cartoon from its time, features several references to other properties. The more noticeable of these are Indiana Jones, The Big Lebowski, Doctor Who, Metal Gear, and I Love Lucy. Nods to MLP also exist in other media, like Bob's Burgers, Transformers, and the short-lived ABC series The Neighbors. Derpibooru. Derpibooru is an image hosting site for artists to share their MLP fan art. Like many other MLP fan sites, it's still up but isn't as active as it once was. Fluttercord and Appledash. Fluttercord and Appledash were two popular fanships that were heavily implied but not outright stated to be canon in the Season 9 finale. Little Cheese. Little Cheese is the daughter of Pinkie Pie and Cheese Sandwich, a pony voiced by Weird Al Yankovic. Knowing this, it's now canon in the show that Pinkie Pie and Weird Al... Brony Documentary. Bronies is a 2012 documentary about, you guessed it, bronies. The movie was put into production after Discord's voice actor, John Delancey, wanted to make a quick buck, shine a light on the misunderstood fandom. After it was leaked to file-sharing websites, the film was released incomplete to Netflix by the producers, with hours of content reportedly being lost. Pinkie Pie clones are alive. This is the first proper theory on the Iceberg, but was outright confirmed in the episode The Saddle Row Review. Episode Too Many Pinkie Pies ends with a horde of Pinkie Pie clones being vaporized by Twilight in order to figure out which one is the real Pinkie. It's theorized that a few of them managed to escape and are still roaming around Equestria. Animation errors. Every show has animation errors, including MLP. Unlike other cartoons that came out around the same time, MLP used puppet rig animation for its characters. This results in mistakes that are at best amusing and at worst unsettling. Examples include Pony's eyelashes turning upside down, Daring Do with 5 hooves, and Long Neck Rainbow Dash. Derpy Censorship. The episode The Last Roundup originally had Rainbow Dash refer to Derpy by her fan-given name.
Now, careful, Derpy! I don't want to do any more damage than you've already done. I just don't know what went wrong.
Later airings of the episode removed the name, changed Derpy's voice, and made her slightly less cross-eyed after Hasbro worried her portrayal might have come off as ableist.
Now, careful. You don't want to do any more damage than you've already done. I just don't know what went wrong.
Derpy's canon name was later revealed to be Ditsy Doo in 2012 and was again changed to Muffins in 2014. Leaks. Over the years, MLP has had a variety of leaks. The latest example was in 2018, where information about Generation 5 was leaked, along with proposed character designs for a reimagining of the main 6. Twilight x Thomas the Tank Engine. Just like Mortitwi, this ship comes with its own batch of weird fan art, specifically from this one Tumblr blog I couldn't find the name of. Princess Molestia. Princess Molestia is a meme within the MLP community of a perverted version of Princess Celestia. The meme was started by a Tumblr blog by the name of Ask Princess Molestia. Pony.mov, created by Hot Diggity Demon. The Pony.mov series follows perverse versions of the main 6 as they try and stop Discord from tearing up Ponyville. The most recognizable of these is Shed.mov, which is similar to Cupcakes but replaces Pinkie Pie with Fluttershy. Luna Game. Luna Game is an MLP fan game uploaded to Equestria Daily. The game is similar to something like Sonic.exe, where you walk for a bit and then get jump scared. The game received a few sequels, but people only seem to remember the first one. Sweet Apple Massacre. Sweet Apple Massacre is a disturbing fanfiction written by a user on the site fanfiction.net, only known as Big Macintosh 2011-1. I'm not sure if I can say the exact contents of the story, but I'll just say it's like Cupcakes but worse. Way worse. Political messages. Some of the morals in Friendship is Magic can be considered political messages by certain people, like the buffalo over a barrel being coded as indigenous people. Other concepts the show tackles include totalitarianism and immigration. Friendship is Magic season canonicity. Certain members of the MLP fandom discard the later seasons of the show as non-canon due to it straying away from the tone of the earlier seasons. The Season 3 finale was a big turning point in this, with Twilight becoming an alicorn. Pick your poison. Is everything before Season 8 canon? Before Season 3? Or maybe you're a die-hard purist, and Season 1 is the only true canon season of Friendship is Magic. FanKid AUs. If you look at the MLP community on Instagram, you're probably going to end up coming across one of these. These FanKid AUs, or alternate universes, are ultimately harmless and are a fun thing to come up with if you're a fan of FIM's world, but are still pretty weird. MLP Novels. Just like Star Wars, Friendship is Magic has a few novels that expand the universe of the show. These come in a few varieties. You have the main series, the Equestria Girls series, the Daring Do Adventure Collection, the Princess Collection, the 2017 movie series, and Ponyville Mysteries. Ponyville Mysteries is actually notable for introducing a new character named Lilymoon, who's exclusive to the books and has never appeared in the show. Luster Dawn's Parents. Luster Dawn is a pony that appears in the very last episode of the show after a time skip. Fans wonder if she's related to any previously established character or is completely new. Most believe she's the daughter of Sunburst and Starlight Glimmer. Button Mash Cease and Desist. The Adventures of Button Mash was going to be a series of fan-made shorts based on the background pony of the same name. Before a second episode could be completed, Hasbro's third-party legal counsel filed a cease and desist letter against the creator, Jan Animations. Since then, the Button Mash incident lives in infamy as an example of Hasbro meddling in fan creators' business. Trans Ponies. Some fans noticed a background pony named Carmel completely switching from a stallion to a mare, and began to headcanon her as trans. But what more people know about is that Trixie is trans headcanon. In some concept art for Friendship is Magic, it was revealed that Trixie was originally going to be a boy, but was changed to a girl. Also, people have compared her voice to those going through male-to-female voice training. Lesbian ponies already exist at Equestria, so trans ponies wouldn't be too hard to believe. Non-canon ships. For all the ships that were canonized at the end of Friendship is Magic, there are a lot of non-canon ones that people were disappointed to not see. These include Rarajack, Flutterdash, and Sparity. Rarity's secret child. Some believe that Sweetie Belle is actually Rarity's daughter instead of her little sister. Somehow Rarity had her at a young age and needed to hide it. This was pretty much debunked in the episode Sisterhood Social, where Rarity and Sweetie Belle's parents appear. That didn't stop fans from pushing their headcanon. Who knows, maybe these are Sweetie Belle's grandparents who just play along for the sake of their daughter. Lost Pegasus Unicon 2013. This was an infamous Brony convention that happened in Las Vegas, Nevada. There are so many things that went wrong with this convention that it's hard to name them all. The hotel the con was held at was going bankrupt at the time, and the organizers didn't even pay, saying they'd have the money after everything was said and done and the convention was in full swing. This was not the case. The organizers couldn't pay enough money and everyone began to get kicked out of the hotel. The resulting mess goes down in history as the worst pony convention of all time, and one of the worst examples of con mismanagement. Come On, Join Us Here in Equestria. Come On, Join Us Here in Equestria is a wonderfully dark image that surfaced in 2016. The picture shows an off-model Fluttershy and Twilight urging the viewer to... The image is actually a variation on this picture, photoshopped from one of the Sonic Archie comics. Straight Jacket Pony. The episode Read It and Weep features a pony who only appears for a few seconds. It's implied that she somehow escaped from the psych ward at the Ponyville Hospital. This tells us that mental illness somehow exists in the happy-go-lucky world of Equestria. Hearts and Hooves Day Funeral. Speaking of Read It and Weep, in that episode Rainbow Dash is stuck next to a pony in full-body casts. The next episode, Hearts and Hooves Day, has a scene taking place at a funeral. Could this be the pony we saw last episode? Clopping. Clopping is a play on the term fapping, used for when you enjoy certain risque MLP fan art. Offensive fan art. 4chan is known for its brand of tasteless, edgy humor. Since a lot of bronies originate there, it's no surprise that some of the fan art is on the same level of yikes. Examples include Applejack owning slaves, Rainbow Dash at a concentration camp, and Ariane, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed pony whose cutie mark is something I can't show, but isn't too hard to figure out. 2008 Show Bible. My Little Pony Adventures was the pitch Bible for Friendship is Magic. For the most part, it resembles the final show, with a few small changes such as designs and character names. Twilight would have had a different color palette and would have been named Twilight Twinkle after a G3 counterpart. Big Mac and Apple Bloom would have also been named Big Apple and Appleseed respectively. Princess Celestia was originally Queen Celestia before it was changed to appeal to little girls. Zecora was originally just referred to as Shaman. And Pinkie Pie was way more hyperactive than she is in the final show. Along with the changes, a ton of Lauren Faust's old sketches for FIM can be found in here, including a male Trixie. MLP Live. MLP has had a couple of live shows throughout the years. The first notable one was the World's Biggest Tea Party from 2007. G4 had a few smaller shows at shopping malls and stuff like that, but in 2020 there was going to be a theatrical stage show just called My Little Pony Live. Due to COVID-19, the show was postponed, but you can still listen to a few song demos on composer Jeff Thompson's SoundCloud page. Fire alarms and Don't Jump. Two inside jokes from the MLP convention scene are Don't Jump and the Great Bronycon Fire. Don't Jump was based on one instance where the floor of one of the hotels wasn't sturdy enough to support an entire crowd of bronies jumping up and down to the sweet dubstep music playing at the time. The other was when one of the light fixtures at a convention caught fire for a bit. Nobody was hurt, but the sprinklers reportedly went off and people were forced to evacuate. Not Salmon. Not Salmon is the off-topic tag on the site Derpibooru. The reason it's called this is because it's meant to encompass anything that isn't a salmon. Horse Famous. Horse Famous is a term used to describe popular MLP fan creators. Examples include AC Race Best, Saber Spark, Two Snacks, Animated James, Piemations, Dr. Wolf, Silver Quill, and I Love Kim Possible a lot. Body pillows. Body pillows, also known by their Japanese name Dakimakura, are elongated pillows, usually with a picture of an anime character on them, used to live out your fantasies with that certain character. MLP ones are incredibly popular, especially at conventions. Flash Sentry is dead. Flash Sentry is a character in the Equestria Girls movies who briefly appeared in the Friendship is Magic TV show. Due to negative backlash by fans, he only ever made a few cameos in Season 4 before mysteriously disappearing altogether. What happened to him? Hopefully not something bad. Spooky Jack. Spooky Jack is the name of a video of somebody getting into a disturbing looking Applejack suit. Most people remember the video for the pony's soulless, unblinking eyes and the haunting screams that come from within. Poundin' Pumpkin Cake's real parents. In the episode Baby Cakes, Mr. and Mrs. Cake, two Earth ponies, have kids that are a unicorn and a Pegasus. While Mr. Cake claims it's from recessive genes, audiences inferred something else. Mr. Cake? More like Mr. Cuck. T-Rex family. T-Rex seems to be the only centaur we see in Equestria. His brother Scorpan appeared in G1, but is only mentioned in the Season 4 finale of FIM. Meanwhile, Discord mentions King Vorak being T-Rex's father. Where is Scorpan? Where are the other centaurs in general? Maybe the IDW comics will give fans an answer someday, but for now, the best we can do is speculate. Discord's origins. Where does Discord come from? Was he created by the original Grogar? Maybe he's a being that's existed since the beginning of time, only rising to power once Celestia and Luna begin their reign. Or maybe Discord was created by the universe naturally, as sort of an antithesis to the Tree of Harmony. Stellar Eclipse. Stellar Eclipse was the OC of a child with spinal muscular atrophy and uses a wheel cart to get around. Thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the show staff drew the OC into the show. Problems started popping up when a few members of the MLP community began to draw NSFW art of the character, causing an outrage. This year, a comment on a Reddit post relating to the incident stated that the thing was blown slightly out of proportion, and that neither the Make-A-Wish Foundation nor the show staff intervened like others claimed. Sombra And Celestia. Many fans wonder how King Sombra of the Frozen North came to power. Some speculate that he had something to do with Princess Celestia, maybe even some sort of intimate relationship. What happened to the Buffalo? The Buffalo only had a role in one episode, over a barrel. Other times were merely cameos in the background. It's strange that in all 9 seasons of the show, they never had a follow-up episode. Did something happen between them and the Settler Ponies after their Spotlight episode? G1 Negative Emotional Aura. G1 is known for its dark moments, particularly in the first TV special, Rescue at Midnight Castle. The special includes scenes of ponies hopelessly running for their lives, being enslaved, and turned into dragons by a way scarier version of T-Rex. Luna's life on the moon. During the thousands of years Princess Luna was trapped on the moon, what did she do? Was she just sitting there? Was she put into some sort of catatonic state? Maybe there's something about the moon that the creators of Friendship is Magic haven't revealed yet. Equestria Girls based on fan art. In the Toys That Made Us docu-series on Netflix, one of the designers for Friendship is Magic recalls how she saw a humanized version of Pinkie Pie and how that inspired the creation of the Equestria Girls toy line and movie. This could be true, but another explanation has to do with the trends at the time. In 2013, toy lines like Monster High and Ever After High were popular, so Hasbro most likely wanted to jump on the bandwagon with EQG. G2 and Friendship Gardens. Generation 2 was a short-lived reboot of MLP in the late 90s. The toy designs themselves are kind of ugly, but the art style on the packaging looks pretty appealing, and was even used for some G1 home media releases in the early 2000s. Though G2 didn't have any animated material, it did receive a game for Windows in 1998. The game is a pet simulator that has you creating and taking care of your own pony, as well as playing minigames with other ponies. The game has trouble working on modern PCs, so if you want to run it, My Little Wiki recommends using DOSBox. I miss my brother. In the Pony Life episode Big Hoof Walking, Pinkie Pie recounts how she and her brother apparently followed a trail of breadcrumbs to a mysterious house in the woods, and how she hasn't seen him since. The character returns in a later episode, but what about in Friendship is Magic? If Pony Life takes place in the same continuity, where's Pinkie's brother? Pinkie's timeline. Pinkie Pie has been shown multiple times to be able to break the laws of physics at will. This, coupled with her ESP, made people wonder why she's like this. Short answer is that it's just the show staff trying to be funny, but some people think it might have to do with Grogar's bewitching bell. In The End of the End Part 2, Pinkie Pie takes the bell for a second and becomes all-powerful. What if this affected the entire timeline of her life, and now she has those abilities in her past and her future? Mean 6 Original Edit. The episode The Mean Six has a scene where evil versions of the Main Six are melted by the Tree of Harmony. In the original cut of the episode, the scene was longer and more intense. When the episode aired, though, the scene was cut down for fear of it being too disturbing for kids. Woah Nelly. Woah Nelly is an incidental pony who only appears at the very end of the episode Rules of Rarity. Unlike other ponies, her character model is notable for having an entirely unique body type. The cutie mark is a picture of her face, which goes along with her alternative name, the Love Yourself pony. The Storm King was originally T-Rex. The Storm King from the 2017 MLP movie has quite a few similarities to T-Rex from G1. Not only are their designs similar, but their plans are similar, needing 4 ponies to complete a magic spell that will allow them to take over the world. This, and the fact that the attack on Canterlot scene from the movie bears a striking resemblance to a similar scene from Rescue at Midnight Castle. Maybe the movie was originally written with T-Rex in mind, but was changed once the writers realized he was already a character in the G4 series. Or it's just a coincidence. Hourglass Cutie Mark. A popular headcanon is one for the Hourglass Cutie Mark that can be seen on a few background ponies. Some say it's just a placeholder cutie mark for ponies who still don't know what they're going to do in life, with the hourglass representing the waiting period for figuring it out. Alcaholic Cider. In America, there's a big distinction between alcoholic and non-alcoholic cider. In Canada, where Friendship is Magic is produced, most cider is alcoholic. Along with this, ponies can be seen getting drunk off of it in the comics. So is the cider alcoholic or not? If it is, that might explain why you only see grown ponies drinking it. Newborn Cuties. Newborn Cuties is a series of direct-to-DVD shorts featuring baby versions of the G3 characters. Known for their low-quality animation, voice acting, and writing, many fans consider the series to be the low point and the absolute worst piece of MLP media in the entire franchise. Every generation is connected. Every generation of MLP more or less takes place in its own continuity. G1, G3, and G4 are seemingly not connected outside of reusing characters, right? The theory goes that the MLP timeline is actually something like The Legend of Zelda, which branches off at crucial segments in the story. For example, you have a timeline where, in Ocarina of Time, Link defeats Ganon and stays an adult, another timeline where he returns to being a child, and one where Ganon wins. If this video gets popular, I'll make a follow-up explaining the theory in better detail. My Pretty Pony. My Pretty Pony was a preschool toy designed in 1981 by Hasbro. My Pretty Pony was larger, heavier, and less stylized, though it kept a similar design and brushable mane. Next year, a smaller version of Hasbro's Pony toy was released and became a smash hit, giving us the MLP franchise we know today. The 7th element of harmony. In Friendship is Magic, there are 6 elements of harmony. Loyalty, laughter, generosity, honesty, kindness, and magic. However, there are usually more than 6 main characters pictured in any given generation of MLP, including G4 with characters like Spike, Starlight Glimmer, and Sunset Shimmer. The animation director for Equestria Girls said on Twitter once that empathy could be the 7th element, relating it to Sunset. That accounts for her, and definitely Spike, and maybe Starlight. Friendship is magic, is friendship is witchcraft abridged? Don't research this. I tried looking into this in more detail and got an email from Hasbro warning me about legal repercussions. So take from that what you will. Christianity. The ponies in G3 are shown to celebrate Christmas. Yes, Christmas. Not Xmas, not Heartswarming Eve, but the Christmas, as in Christ. And if Santa is real in that universe, then who's to say the ponies aren't some divine creatures created by the Christian God? Or maybe by something else. Pear Butter and Bright Mac were related. In real life, apples and pears are closely related. Why wouldn't that be the case in the show? This theory states that the reason that Grandpa and Granny Smith didn't want the two getting together was because they were distant relatives. If that's the case, then Applejack, Apple Blue, and Big Mac are products of incest. Yikes. Starsong In G4. The core 7 were the main characters featured in later years of G3. Pinkie Pie, Scootaloo, Toolaroola, Rainbow Dash, Sweetie Belle, and Cheerilee all had a minor cameo or significant role in G4. The last member, Starsong, never showed up in the Friendship is Magic TV show. Did the show staff just forget her? Or is there something about her character that made them not want to bring her back? Pony parts. Unlike some fan art would have you believe, the ponies in Friendship is Magic don't appear to have any reproductive organs, but they can reproduce like humans do. There has to be something we don't know about them. Maybe their anatomy is like Sawdachu. Or maybe everything is visible. The show just doesn't get a good angle to see what's going on exactly. EQG Earth isn't Earth. This theory is pretty simple. The dimension that Twilight goes to in EQG is close to our world, but isn't our world exactly. A pretty obvious point is that humans aren't green, purple, blue, etc. and don't have names like Rainbow Dash or Twilight Sparkle. They also don't seem to age. The main 7 are in high school for at least 5 years and never seem to deal with any sort of classes. In Friendship is Magic, the Cutie Mark Crusaders are supposed to be around 10 years old, where in the first Equestria Girls movie they're implied to be freshmen in high school. Cancelled Rainbow Ponies special. At the end of the VHS release of Rescue in Midnight Castle, there's a short preview for a second MLP TV special. This one would have introduced the Rainbow Ponies, Spike with Wings, and various returning characters from the previous special. Instead of that, Escape from Katrina was released in 1986. We don't know why Rainbow Ponies was cancelled exactly. Some speculate it was to avoid parents calling it too dark like Rescue at Midnight Castle. Aside from the preview, the European VHS cover for Katrina has this unrelated artwork that people think could be a scrap cover or even a piece of concept art for Rainbow Ponies. The lost media enthusiast in me really wants to see this special found and preserved as a piece of MLP history. But the realist in me knows there's a huge chance that the material for this thing could have been destroyed without a second thought by the animation studio. Well, hopefully this video, along with the hype for Generation 5, can get the lost media community interested in this topic. The truth about My Little Pony. This is a theory that states that Lauren Faust actually based Friendship is Magic on the lives of 6 real girls from North Carolina, who all lost their lives on the same day in 1989. Fluttershy was based on Samantha Gales, an introverted girl whose only friends were the animals she would rescue. Rarity on Janice Walters, who lost her life alongside her parents in a car crash. Rainbow Dash on Alexandra Matthews, an athlete who overdosed on performance enhancers. Applejack on Jamie Sanders, a farm girl who came from a poor family. Pinkie Pie on Katherine Jackson, who suffered from delusions and jumped off a building, believing she could fly. And Twilight on Cynthia Little, who took her own life after being caught cheating on a test. The most distressing part of this theory? It's not real. No teenage girls by these names existed in North Carolina in the 1980s. There it is, the MLP Iceberg. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did researching and making it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. Anything helps, and it'll let me know if any viewers out there want to see another video from me. Whether that be about MLP, lost media, or whatever topic I feel like covering. Until next time, goodbye.